based on our discussion, I'm only going to take this crystallizing dish and put a small amount of acetone in the bottom of it. And then what I want you to do is hypothesize what's going to happen when I put some packing peanuts into the dish. And I want you to be as observant as possible. First, I want you to hypothesize what you think is going to happen, as we always want to be predictive. But then I want you to be as observant as you can, either on the big screen here, and hopefully I'll get a good angle to show you what's happening, or if you're close enough to actually see it straight away, and watch. And I want you to predict what's going to happen. I want you to predict how many of these packing peanuts are going to fit into this dish. Okay? Are we good? So that's the setup. And then, of course, I want you to finally wrap up the discussion with what kind of implications this is. So past the conclusion of your hypothesis and your discussion, the end discussion is going to be really, what implications does this observation that you made have for example, recycling or environmental waste? Because it turns out one of the reasons we got away from these packing peanuts is they simply took up too much space in landfills. We were making too much trash.
Why couldn't they just make a special recycling bag for them and just send them back to packaging?
Some people do that. So, and that may be part of your discussion. Alright, so as I told you, I'm pouring in some acetone to cover the bottom of this dish. So I poured in probably 100 milliliters, maybe a little more. And you saw me drink out of this, right? This is made out of styrofoam too. And one of the main reasons you don't want to use one of these things to keep your nail polish remover in is because it
disintegrates?
yeah, wouldn't last very long, would it?
No way.
So I don't know if you could.
a styrofoam Titanic.
Yeah,
in
so
an ocean of-
I don't have a better way of manipulating this camera, so you're gonna have to just watch. But yeah, that didn't hold up so well. So you want to know how many of these things you think you can fit in here. You saw how big the bag was, right? Don't use these to pack on, actually, that could have been a good question. If you were going to ship a bottle of acetone,
The liquid's changing color.
that's an observation. Oh wait, there's more. About how much have we put in there already?
Half the bag.
at least, right? And I brought my lovely magic wand, so Danny would be impressed.
Which Danny?
Both. So, yeah, we're going to keep going here. I think we've hit the limit. Probably not, but. Ooh,
One's on the floor.
yeah.
It looks like crispy bars.
I wouldn't suggest eating it.
Like the marshmallow part of the crispy. Like you're melting the marshmallow with the crispy bars.
I'm expecting volunteers. So, well, Halloween's coming.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah. So I have a side question for you. Say you were a budding little chemist in here and you thought, geez, Dr. Nye, that was so cool. I want to show my roommate, friend, mom, girlfriend, boyfriend, etc. I want to show them this. That's interesting. Might have gotten one of the wrong flavor in there. But could you?
Nail polish remover?
Makes sense? So, what is that? Well, let's see here.
Just dip some of it in there. Come on, green.
One of the questions I want you to think about is, how could you use this effect? What would you do with it? All right.
Maybe try to figure out a way to maybe make a new type of plastic from it.
Are we changing what the plastic is? Are we changing its actual what the chemical is? Is this a chemical reaction? Do you think?
Is it
Or
warm?
is it a physical reaction?
Is the dish warm?
No. It's not warm.
Not an exothermic reaction.
Right. So, feel free to ask me questions. I just got the question, is the dish warm? And the answer to that question is, no, it's not warm. Yeah, it smells a little like, what does it smell like to you?
Oh. Alcohol.
Kind of.
Almost.
It's a very familiar smell. Do you
Nail
do your
polish.
nails?
Nail polish.
Does it smell like in a nail or like a nail salon?
Rivers.
Yeah. So it smells like nail polish remover. So now that we have this, what do you notice?
It's almost like Play-Doh or slime.
Yeah. It looks like melted plastic. And you might think, what could somebody do with that?
Wanted it or something, put it in a mold and form it.
That's part of your discussion. So, How do you think I'm gonna get this all out of this thing? 'Cause it's
Water?
starting to look pretty nasty. Would water work? Right. So, again, please address the questions that I had you think about in addition to the regular LLE. All right? And somebody post that for me. Multiple ones would be fine.